Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, New Orleans, where stories are created. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Good evening, I'm Peggy Scott Laborde and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Phyllis Jordan, founder of PJ's Coffee, but here tonight to tell us about this year's Symphony Book Fair. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you. Hello, hello. Poppy Tooker, host, and she's back, host of the radio program Louisiana Eats, airing twice weekly on WWNO Radio. Hello.
Hi, Peg.
Hey, dear. He's back, John Kemp. It's been a while. Art columnist for Louisiana Life magazine. Great to see you. Hello. And later on, a local tribute to the music of French composer Michel Legrand and local composer Glyn Bailey and his cast of the brand new musical To Kill a Diva performing for us. But first up, Poppy.
Well, I have to say congratulations, first of all, to Leanne Smith and Dan Jackson of Piece of Meat over on Bienville Street. If I told you all to go, if you haven't been yet, make a track over there. They were just named one of Food and Wine magazine's top 10 new restaurants in the country. So congratulations. And then more congratulations to my dear friends Mark and Candace Ladder, who now have Ladder Hospitality, and of course that's Two Jacques and Bar Francis. They are opening up Claret. Today it's opening up, and it's on Magazine Street, way downtown, and it's incredible. A 1,250 square foot interior, and there's a patio area with a retractable awning. They're going to have house-made charcuterie and small plates, much like what's offered at Bar Francis, and their cocktail program is outstanding with cocktails like Wrong Way Home, we don't want to go that way, or La Brouhaha, and Cask of Amontillado. So all of those. So congratulations, and go to Claret. You'll love it, I know. And now, here come the summertime specials. We all wait for those great bargains. And Copper Vine is leading the pack this year with a $13 Pick 2 Power Lunch, Monday through Friday. And of course, for us old-timers, that's where Mailey's used to be.
Yes, thank you. I was hoping you'd say that.
So you can pick two, a baby herb salad, or a chicken and boudin gumbo, or tomato basil soup with a half a smoked chicken salad club sandwich, a half of a Copper Vine Cuban, or a half a fried shrimp poor boy. $13 right there on Poydras. Great for people downtown. Stick around for happy hour from 3:30 until 5:30 when they have $5 glasses of wine and other small plate specials. And being down in that neck of the woods reminded me it had been a long time since I'd eaten at Belize. And I went for lunch recently. It was divine. That's Justin DeVillier's CBD Tavern on Carondelet Street. We had things like steamed mussels. There was a baked rigatoni made with braised pork cheek ragu, shiitake mushrooms and fontina cheese. There were Gulf shrimp fritters, crab au gratin, and the most unusual thing, blistered green beans topped with shaved, fresh, grated horseradish. It was so delicious and unusual. I never had anything like that before. And then I want to remind everybody, the reservations, this sells out like this for the Audubon Supper Club. And the Supper Club this time is going to be Savannah to the Swamp, and they're going to start over at the new lion exhibit. It's going to be so exciting because the zookeepers come out and they show you and tell you things about the lions. You get really up close and personal personal. And then everybody's going to the Swamp, where there's a fabulous, fabulous sit-down dinner. So make those reservations, because they sell out quick, and that's going to happen on Wednesday,
What a good
June
idea.
the 12th.
What a good
I love
idea
the Audubon
at night
Institute.
to be
It's
in the
magical.
zoo at night.
Oh my goodness, that sea lion experience last month was the
Yeah,
best.
Just great. Thank you.
Thanks.
And Phyllis, I know you've been involved with the Symphony Book Fair for so many years, of
Yes.
course, helping the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra,
Right,
and
right.
once again at the arena, the UNO Lakefront
Arena,
Arena,
that's
Kiefer
right,
Arena.
yeah.
And so tell us about what we can expect.
Okay, so we'll be there May 31st, June 1st and 2nd, and we will be filling the entire arena floor with books. I like to say that we changed the smell on the place from basketball to books.
And CDs.
And
You got
CDs, that's right,
plenty
that's
of
right.
CDs.
So
too.
we have we have 50 different categories of books, plus we have art and frames and vinyl and sheet music and just everything you can imagine. It's been a great year for donations. We have just had so many people bring us wonderful things.
Well, I know you've got some highlights, a little show and tell for
so
us.
I just kind of grabbed some books that I could get to easily. So this is the Illustrated Rumi, which is a beautiful book of Arab art. For the younger set, there's the anime, or what do you call it? Graphic novels. They love that. This is a vintage copy of Nancy Drew.
Brings
Love
back
my
a lot of
Nancy
These
Drew
things
memories.
do come in, you know, it's like, and so that, for some person, that's just the greatest book in the world. But what I want to talk about is our children's book section, because this one's Who was Sacagawea, but we have a huge number of children's books this year, and we're having a sale on Sunday. People can come in with their child, and they can fill a bag for $5 of all the children's books they can put in there.
Oh, is that a deal?
And that's on Sunday from noon until 3. And that's a really good deal.
Well, Phyllis, I know you also have a special table of local-oriented
We
books,
do,
too, and there's
yeah.
some real gems in there,
There
on
are,
occasion. I understand
yeah.
there's a fairly rare Robert Talent and, of course, some other great things.
Yes.
Well, I can speak from experience because I am a customer, okay? And it's hard, but one of the things that I'm easily swayed by are the magnificent travel and art books.
Yes, yes.
Just, you know, with beautiful pictures. I read, too, but I do like to look at that
I've
as
been
well.
thinking about changing the name of the travel section to Travel and Interesting Places, because some books are just like, it talks about Tuscany or Provence, you know, and it's not necessarily a travel book, but if you love to travel, you can spend hours going through that.
You really can. And of course, this is a year-round effort. You all collect books,
we collect
correct?
books throughout the year, donations from the area. And one of the best things about taking donations is that you realize there are New Orleanians out there who are great readers. And it's so reassuring to me to know that there are great readers
Now,
out
do you
there.
all pick up when possible? Or?
Not very often,
Not
under
too often,
special
okay.
circumstances.
So bring everything to Oak Street?
We're on Oak Street, and we're open on Tuesdays and Fridays from 10 till 2. And we'll be happy to take your books and help you get them out of the car for you.
And once again, what's the website, too, for more details?
Symphony, it's LPO Volunteers/Book Fair.
Great. Plus, the Encore Shop is a whole
The Encore
other
Shop is a whole other branch
fundraiser,
that
isn't it?
raises money for the orchestra. And
Great.
there's some great clothes in there. I bought a pair of blue suede shoes.
Oh,
Really? Oh, wow.
I have a pair.
And I know that you're no longer involved, but you said you recently attended the 40th anniversary of
Yes,
PJs,
yes.
the
I
franchise.
was 8 when I started. Hope you understand. But yeah, I did that, and there are now 102 PJs across the country.
Okay, so go ahead.
Do you know what people don't know about Phyllis is that she is literally the mother of iced coffee.
I am.
Phyllis is the one who created that as a category, and think of how
And
huge
now
that
it's
is
across
today.
the country. Yeah, I used to go to meetings, and people would say, "Oh, people don't drink coffee in the summer." And I'd raise my hand, and I'd say, "Well, I'm from New Orleans, and they drink iced coffee." And nobody paid attention to me for 37 years.
And then all of a sudden,
Ice coffee.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you
That's
very
always
much.
great to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks for the sneak preview. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz queen, Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Marilyn Richardson told us what president was nominated in New Orleans and where was the first that convention held? George H. Bush in the Superdome. Now, tonight's question. Hitler referred to this New Orleanian as the new Noah. Who was he? And what did he build that earned him that name?
Okay.
Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes are your subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, a petite cap sleeve T-shirt, it's very petite, with the message sushi in the sky with diamonds from our friends at Wearable Vegetables, and a pair of free admission passes. This is such a great gift to either the Audubon Zoo, Aquarium of the Americas, or the Butterfly Garden and Insectarium. You can go to the WYES.org, our website, for our online calendar, including the Tremé 7th Ward Arts and Cultural Festival, which is this weekend. You can also link to WYES's YouTube channel to see our program. Earlier today, performers Phil Melancon, Heidi Melancon, and Dr. Hector Ventura came by to give us a preview of their tribute to famed French composer Michel Legrand. Phil Melancon, a tribute to Michel Legrand. Just in case that name isn't totally familiar, mention some of the songs.
Oh my gosh, he had so many. He had like 250 movie scores. He did, let's see, The Summer of '42, for instance. Brian's song, How Do You Keep the Music Playing?
Thomas Crown Affair.
Thomas Crown with the
Windmills of Your Mind, huh?
Perfect, yes. I mean, just so many of the big music scores he had. He was right there with it. Of course, and Umbrellas of Cherbourg with I Will Wait for You and Watch What Happens.
Well,
Both.
and we're going to hear those tonight, so I'm
yeah,
so
sure
glad
will.
to hear
You
that.
sure will.
And Miss Heidi, you were a retired school teacher, but no more. You're back.
No, I went, yes, this year I started teaching 4th grade after retirement. I had to do something to stay out of Philip's hair.
Oh, gosh.
And of course, Dr. Ventura, your day job is in charge of the heart transplant program at Oxnard. But how did you get into singing?
It's an anti-stress. It's called. It's a hobby. I mean, it's a hobby that I had all my life, and thanks to them, I can sing with them. So that's good.
Well, we are thrilled.
Love
and
it.
now let's hear I Will Wait for You and some Lanya.
Yes, Watch What Happens.
Watch what happens. Let's take a listen.
Heidi, the clock will tick away the hours one by one, and then will come that time when all our waiting's done. That time when you return, you'll find me here and you run straight into my waiting arms. If it takes a lifetime, I would wait for you. 1,000 summers, I would wait for you.
Clock will take away the hours
And you here beside me to behold.
Then the time will come when all the waiting's done.
Hear you sigh here in my arms.
Non, je ne pourrai jamais vivre sans toi. Je ne pourrai pas, ne pars pas, j'en mourrai en instant sans toi. Et je n'existe pas, oh mon amour, ne me quitte pas. Anywhere you wander, anywhere you go, every day remember how I love you. So in your heart believe what in my heart I know, that forevermore I will wait for you.
Let someone start believing in you. Let it under his hand. Let him touch you and watch what happens. Want someone who can look in your eyes and see into your heart. Let him find you and watch what happens. Cold. No, I won't believe your heart is cold.
Oh, no, no, maybe meant to warm by an evening like this.
Let someone with that deep love to give.
Give that deep love to you, and what magic you see.
Let someone give his heart.
Someone who cares like me.
Someone who cares like me.
Wow. Wow. A reminder reminder that you can see Lagron songs of Michel Legrand Sundays and Thursdays. That's next week and the week after. It's at the Monkey Hill Annex. It used to be Chappie's a long time ago on Magazine near Perlis. Call the number on your screen or email melansongs@gmail.com to reserve a spot. And now, John, it's so nice to have you back, and so many really great art things relating to art here, but what a gift right behind the New Orleans Museum of Art.
That's the Sidney Walter Besthoff Sculpture Garden.
Part two.
Part two. Well, you know, I think everybody at this table has been to the original, which was, I'm going to give you the statistics first, then we'll get to the real feeling and meaning of this place. The original Sculpture Garden was 5 acres, you know, beautiful trees, oaks, and everything. But the new one is 6 acres, so it's actually double the size of the original Sculpture Garden. It's a $15 million project. The original Sculpture Garden had 64 works of art by 19th and up to the contemporary 20th century artists. But the new one, 21st and late 20th century artists, so all contemporary artists in the new one. So we had 20 of them. So the total between the two gardens, the one garden, is 90 works of art, and more are coming. And in the new section, they also built an amphitheater where you can see plays and performances. And what I really like is that magnificent pavilion they built. So a lot of the Besthoff sculpture, you can't put it outside because it's for the weather. So they had this beautiful 5,000 square foot pavilion overlooking the lagoons, where they're going to have some of the indoor pieces. But the interesting about the new garden, the first garden you walk through is this beautiful, contemplative garden with the bearded trees and kind of a wooded landscape. The new one is just the opposite. You go into sort of the South Louisiana water landscape, and they've got this clever little device to connect the two sections. It's called the Canal Link Bridge, where you actually walk down into the lagoon, into a dry canal, with the water is up almost to your shoulders as you go on the right-hand side.
That is the most amazing feeling that your shoulder, there's the water.
So they're working with the Louisiana landscape in the new section where the sculpture is placed in the trees and little islands in the lagoon. They enlarge the lagoon to make it, to encompass that context of the watery South Louisiana landscape, and it's placed throughout the park. And all the local vegetation, of course, from South Louisiana, it's all newly planted. So it's kind of raw right now, but give it a few years, it's going to be absolutely magnificent with the local flora.
And it's free.
Oh, absolutely free. 7 days a week, free. And we were talking about this a little while ago. You can just walk in and just lose yourself in not only in the landscape, but the sculpture that's been placed in context in the landscape. And this is the little, I was telling you about the canal bridge. You see it going down into the lagoon. So often your shoulder is the water. It's actually the lagoon.
That's really
Wait till the gondola passes by.
Well, when I was going through, it's kind of reminded me of all the wonderful things they're doing at Noma, but also at City Park in general. You know, with the whole front of the City Park, with the Botanical Garden, with the Enrique Alferez sculpture, with the the casino. It sort of reminds me of what I've read and photographs I've seen of those great urban parks of the Gilded Age in the late 19th century. We see whole families out there, either in the lagoon playing little boats or picnicking, on the kids on the swings, and now this magnificent sculpture garden. They just wander through and just sort of lose yourself in.
Yes.
It's a great place. And, thanks to the museum and to a number of people, including the Besthoffs, who've made this possible.
And just in case, because we love to talk about history here at WYES, you know, if folks do not remember, K&B, Katz and Besthoffs, the Besthoff
right.
family, of
That's the
course,
Besthoff,
was so integral to that, and very, very successful. And we're so sad that they closed, but they have been very, very busy in terms of philanthropy and very giving, and have been collecting public artwork, public sculptures for many years.
Yeah, and also missed the banana splits at the old drugstores, too.
Yes,
They were great.
I do miss that.
And
Anyway,
Creole
great.
cream cheese.
And
That's
Creole
right.
cream cheese.
That's
All the
right.
great ice cream we used to make. Thank you so much.
Sure.
And New Orleans area-based composer Glyn Bailey visited with us recently to preview his new original backstage musical, How to Kill a Diva. He also brought some cast members to give us a taste of the show. Glyn, another musical.
Yes, another musical, which is great.
Well, you were slightly involved.
Yes, I wrote the music and the lyrics and co-wrote the book with my co-writer, Wes Payne. And I must say, Peggy, it's very nice to be here because I was here 10 years ago with my musical Scandalous, which you'll remember.
Based on D.H.
Lawrence's life, and that went to the West End of London from here through Jefferson Performing Arts Society, of which I am the composer in residence. So,
well, that is quite the title.
Quite a title, very grand, isn't it? Yes.
Now, this time, How to Kill a Diva, it's sort of a backstage look.
It's a backstage
comedy,
look, yes.
Musical.
It's a comedy. It's like a farce musical, so it's very different to Scandalous. But it tells the story about an aging, well, not aging, but a diva who's a little bit going towards the other end of her career, and she causes all sorts of trouble and havoc in this little opera house in Switzerland. You know, so I won't tell you any more because I want people to come, but it's a real fun story that we've come
Now,
up
this
with.
is at JPS, though, on the West Bank.
On the West Bank at West Wego, yeah, but it's great.
Beautiful facility.
Well, it's a lovely facility, and this show is intimate. We have a 12-person cast, so it's kind of small, and it's a perfect venue for this type of story, you see. So,
Well, set up what we're going to hear tonight.
well, we're going to hear tonight a song, the finale from the show, which sums everything up. It's called The Show Must Go On.
And so it will, from How to Kill a Diva.
The show must go on, whatever it is that we're doing. The show must go on, whatever the goal we're pursuing.
You gotta stay strong, you gotta hang on. Don't let this old world get you down.
For with joy in your heart, you can make a new start when you wipe out that sorrowful frown.
With a song and a smile, you can make life worthwhile. You can conquer it all with a grin.
If you stick to your script, you'll be more than equipped to laugh in the face of chagrin.
The glow must stay on. Keep a smile on your face when you're weary.
Keep singing your song.
It will brighten the day when it's dull and dreary.
Try to stay calm, to keep up the charm.
Whatever life puts on our plate, even though we may cry,
We've all gotta try to
Never show anger or hate.
the words that you say can lighten your day if you choose them with care and with love.
Just give it a try and let those words fly right up to the heavens above. For when we're all gone and they ask what's the thing that defined us,
All that lives on is the show that we leave here behind us.
So do it in style, make it worthwhile. Go out with grace and aplomb. Have your last shout, but when the lights all go out, you know that the show must go on.
have your last shout, but when the lights all go out, you
know that's the show must go on. Go on, go on, go on, go
A reminder that How to Kill a Diva is playing now through June the 8th at the West Wego, June 9th rather, Performing Arts Center. Visit jpas.org to purchase your tickets. And now it's time for our picks of the week. Phyllis.
Well, it has to be a book, and there's some wonderful books. We have a first edition of a Roald Dahl, a copy of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory at Symphony Book Fair.
Okay, Poppy.
Back to the zoo. Next Friday night, dinner and a zoovie at Audubon Zoo. Gates open at 6, movie starts at 8, and there'll be all the water parks open, and there's all sorts of food trucks and stuff to eat with.
Great, John.
Okay, sculpture's my theme tonight. So over in Waveland, Mississippi, at the Studio Waveland Gallery, is a show there featuring 20 New Orleans area sculptors. This is the gallery was founded by New Orleans artist Michel Legrand and his wife,
yes.
Erica Larkin Godet. It's a beautiful space over there. That gallery could stand up anywhere. And it's a great show, too. A lot of well-known artists from the New Orleans area.
One more great amenity to that area,
Yes,
too.
yes, absolutely.
Really great.
Especially they needed it there, too, in Waveland.
Thank you, John. To quote New Orleans writer Chris Rose, writer Ronnie Burgess was the last of the great chroniclers, truth-tellers, legends, prophets. Burgess passed away this week. Thankfully, through his books and video work, we still have a part of him with us. Here are 2 memories that he shared in WYES's 1999 documentary, The French Quarter That Was. Whatever night spot you visited, an evening in the quarter often ended with a classic New Orleans ritual: coffee and beignets at morning call.
There were like nice mirrors you could look in and see just how much you had been drinking, because you usually went there after a night of drinking and you needed some grease to go home on. I always was fascinated, I guess during the season, you could like run into people who were, coming from carnival balls and things. I mean, you'd often like go in there and, there'd be somebody in a fur coat or a tuxedo or something, with all that donut powder around.
One of the major fish vendors was the Battistella family.
The Battistellas was kind of famous guys who told their wives they were going fishing, but really weren't going fishing. They'd stop at Battistellas and like buy fish. And, they'd ask somebody, would say, where'd you catch those? Lake Battistella.
Boy, are we going to miss him. What a wonderful guy. Funeral arrangements are incomplete, but they are through Shane Funeral Home. And our theater critic Alan Mason returns next week. Check out his review of Le Petit's The Pianist of Williston Lane on theatercriticism.com. And now my pick, the Herman Grima House and Gaillard Historic Houses, their annual summer dress exhibit, which spotlights the way that the original homeowners originally decorated their houses to accommodate the heat, the summer weather, is going on now until September 3rd. Visit hggh.org to book a tour and for more information. And the Ozone Music Education Foundation's Spring Sound Off charity fundraiser is this Thursday night. The concert will be at the Pontchartrain Yacht Club that's in Mandeville. Visit eventbrite.com to purchase tickets. Grammy winner Greg Barnhill, who's been on our show, and some very talented songwriters as well as some budding ones will be performing. Have a great Memorial Day. Thank you all so very much. And don't forget that concert, the Marine Forces Reserve Band concert at the National World War II Museum on Memorial Day. Thank you for watching. Good night.
This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area. And by New Orleans Tourism Marketing Corporation, New Orleans, where stories are created. Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich.